Welcome back. So now let's move back to Taipei City. I'm going to introduce you a super beautiful and super important temples. There are like over 10,000 temples, but this is definitely the one of the most like iconic temples in Taipei, or we can say in Taiwan. It's called Longshan Temple, which is in an area of Monga. Monga used to be a city center. Imagine like 100, 200 years ago, this was a city center because it's near the river called Danshui River. So when the first Chinese settlers came to Taiwan, they settled down in here, and then of course they need the belief. So they brought the deities from China and then build a temple. It wasn't this big compared to it is right now, but because this temple is like a fantastic one, so they get the money, and with the money they were able to invite the best craftsmen to make the temple, and later on it became the model for many other temples to follow. So the temple is now over 280 years old. It was founded in 1738. It has underwent some renovations several times. The biggest renovation was in 1919. It was by Wang Yishun, Master Wang Yishun. It has destroyed several times because of the typhoon, the earthquake, especially World War II. It was bombed before. So nowadays it's like a very big artwork. When you go there, you have to see all the details, the roof, the wall, the columns, everything is like art. And next to the temple, there's a herbal valley. And later on, I'll play another video, and it's gonna show you what it's like. So let's explore manga. Enjoy it.
Hi, my name's Sean Kaiteri and I'm going to be your tour guide for today. Right behind me here we have a fantastic example of Taiwan architecture that's called Longshan Temple. Longshan basically means Dragon Mountain, and this is one of the oldest temples here in Taiwan. It was finished built in 1738. Now we have a look here. One thing we really want to see is the architecture up there on the roof. So don't just be looking in here, you need to look everywhere up there. You can see the little figures, little figurines. They are the little gods that are here to protect the temple. If we want to walk into the temple, we've got to go in through the right-hand side. That's the lucky way. It's the way the dragon enters the temple. This is all to do with feng shui and the movement of energy through the place. Over here on our left, you can see a small waterfall. So basically when we first get to the temple, the first thing we should do is go and spend a moment standing there and let the flowing water go through our mind and clear up our thoughts. So walk with me and we'll come over here a little bit and we'll clear our minds so we can get ready to go inside. Well, now I'm nice and relaxed, my mind is in a good state. Let's go inside and have a look at the temple. So notice as I walk in, I step over the threshold, and that allows me to give a little bit of respect and bow my head for the temple. Over here, we have a place where we can buy some offerings for the gods. If you want to make a wish or have a prayer or something you want, then you'll buy something from here and offer it to the gods. Okay, let's go on in. So here we are, on the table here you can see the different offerings. Now there you can see fruit and flowers, right? if you have a wish, something you really want to happen, a thing you want from the god, then you put out some fruit. And when that wish comes true or your prayers are answered, then you put out the flowers as a form of thank you. So here in the main area of the courtyard, this here is an urn to the Jade Emperor. And he's pretty much out of the whole pantheon of the gods, he is the god of gods, or the emperor of the gods. And in the back there you can see that is a Buddhist place for putting the incense and making your prayers. Now this temple being very old and kind of famous and a very tranquil place, back in the war years, World War II, the residents of Taipei would come and stay in here because they thought it was a very safe place to live, being a temple and the gods would protect them from the bombs that were falling around. But on this one particular night, the mosquitoes were so bad that the people literally had to move out of the temple. Everyone vacated because of the sheer number of mosquitoes. And it was that very night that the American bombers flew over and dropped bombs on the temple, destroying part of the temple. And of course everyone thought, it's a miracle, the gods really were looking after us. Okay, so let's go over here and we'll have a look at the incense and how you make some prayers in the temple. So as you can see, it's quite a busy place here for praying. People of all ages and from all around Taiwan come here to make their prayers and have their prayers heard by the gods. They take three incenses, they light them, and then they sit here and give their first little prayer where they either hold the incense just in front of their hands or raise it up to their forehead. Now if you look in here, you can see the gold and the black. Now that black is from the 1700s. It's all the incense and smoke, so you can get a real sense of the number and amount of incense and prayers that have been answered and asked for in this beautiful temple. And so here you can see this lovely little patch of floral arrangements. So after your wishes have come true, you buy some flowers and you bring them here. And you can see this one is basically saying thank you to the Buddhist god. And they stay here for 2 or 3 days, and then later on the temple staff will come by and clean it up for you. It's a very beautiful little tribute. And so here, these little half-moon crescents are the tools that we use to ask the gods a question or to make a prayer. Now, if then I hold the question on my head, let it mull over, then I drop them on the ground. And if they turn up like this, one up, one down, the answer is yes. If I get 2 up like that, that means the answer to the question is no. And if I get the 2 done up this way, that means my question wasn't really clear enough, or I should try to ask it again. Maybe the god didn't understand. So right now I'm going to ask my question if God has any problem with us here filming today and gives us his blessing. So I'm going to hold the question in my mind and then throw them on the ground. And 1 up, 1 down. Yes, we are no problem here today. So thank you. Nice blessings. Here we have, you can see a really busy little spot here. This is the Mazu, the goddess. Now, Mazu is an important goddess because she's kind of like the patron saint of sailors. When in the old days, when the first arrivals would come to Taiwan, it was quite a treacherous trip across the China Strait there. So they would pray to Mazu to keep themselves safe. And those that didn't make it, Mazu would look after them once they had perished on the waves. So you can see in here a very important place to be, another beautiful god. So here in the back of the temple, we have different gods who were once maybe very famous people or people of great renown back in their day, and they were so good that later on they became gods. People wanted to remember them and the good things they did while they were here on the earth. And this guy here, he's the god of medicine. So kind of if you have a medical problem or you're worried about a health issue, you'll come and make your prayer to him. Now in the back here you can see these little lights. You can pay a little bit of money and have your name put in there, and maybe your wish will come true. And on this side over here we have the god of literature. So basically he's for the students who are wanting to do well in their exams. They might have an important exam coming up, so they will go and make the prayer there to give them lucky and help them concentrate during their exams. This corner, I'm standing right between two gods. On this side I have the god of war, and on this side I have the goddess of love, right in the middle between the two of them. The god of war is quite an interesting god, because both good people and say bad people come to visit him. The police might come here, and the gangsters would also come here and ask for his help or protection. Businessmen who want to get that corporate deal or make a lot of money, they'll also come here and pray to him. This particular god you can find in a lot of really big Chinese or Taiwanese companies like Foxconn, the people who make iPhones, to give them that little bit of competitive edge and make all that much more money. On this side you can see another very popular one here. This is the goddess of love. So if you're looking for a partner in your life, you want a new boyfriend, you want a new girlfriend, you'll come here and pray. So you come across and we grab a string. Now this is it's like a love line, right? So basically with this string will help me rope in or fish in my partner or new girlfriend that I might be looking for. But I have a wife, so I'm going to put this back. I don't want a girlfriend, otherwise there'll be quite a bit of trouble for me. Well, that's just about going to conclude our tour of Longshan Temple. We walked in here through the dragon, went and visited the different types of gods, and so kind of the last thing I do now is I walk out the way of the tiger. Hopefully I'm going to have lots of good luck, my heart is going to be filled and my life filled with many blessings. It's been a great trip, nice hanging out with you. Right now I'm standing just right next door to the Longshan Temple in what is called the Shigang Street Herbal Lane. It's a herbal market where traditionally you might go to the temple and the doctors in there would advise you of some herbs or plants you need to treat your condition. And then the guest would come from the temple across to this market and pick up the herbs and spices and the different remedies they need to improve their health. So if you follow me, we'll go inside and have a look at the lane itself. So here on this wall you can see some examples of the different types of herbs and spices that they have in here. The market itself has been here for about 100 years, and it's a family, it's a generational business. Grandfather handed it down to father, father handed it down to his son, and so on. The herbs and spices here are of the highest quality. Originally they used to grow their own herbs and spices, but now they go to specialist places that concentrate on growing that one type of herb. They go in there and they hand pick the choicest and most freshest herbs they can find. And let's go on through. Okay, yeah, I'm going to try one of these drinks. It's a medicine drink, so basically they've added a little bit of this, a bit of the ginger, a little of this one, mix it up, they boil it up together and make a nice, refreshing drink. There we go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. Bottoms up. It's really good to drink. Yeah, nice. Cheers. And some money. There we go. Thank you. Cheers. So in the drink there are like 8 or 9 different herbs. First of all, the herbs are cut up and dried in the sun, which really allows to bring out a nice aroma in them. Then the herbs are all mixed up and they're boiled, and sugar cane is added to give it a little bit sweeter taste. When you smell it, you can definitely get a good sense of the ginseng and the ginger. That's really quite obvious in the smell. And when you drink it, it's got the sugar in there, so it's a little bitter, but a little sweet and a little spicy. This drink is used particularly in the summertime to keep your body cool. It's a good self-regulator for doing that. So fine drop, you should try some. I'm standing just on the outside of Bo Piliao. Now, Bo Piliao basically means a skin peeling district. Inside, there were many little homemade factories where they would basically render animals, bring them in, cut them up for their meat, and especially peel off their skin to make leather or pull out their feathers to make down. Small family businesses where one brother might be in charge of cutting the meat, the elder brother in charge of dealing with the skin and then selling it off to market. Even though the traditional Qing Dynasty street sitting here in Bo Piliao is one of the oldest areas remaining of the old Taipei, new life has been breathed into it by young students and up-and-coming artists using the space as an area to show off their talent and their different styles of artwork. Artwork ranges here from ornaments, jewelry, through to paintworks, and even sculptures and metal structures. New life has come to the old part of Taiwan.
Okay, so Longshan Temple is very popular. Whenever you go there, there are always people, including tourists and local people. And it's especially crowded during Chinese New Year because there's a super cool lantern show. On the top left, that is Guan Yin. Guan Yin is the major God in here, in this temple. But you know what? Apart from Guan Yin, this temple enshrines other 165 other deities. You know, in our culture, we worship many different deities. But Guan Yin is definitely the major one, right in the middle, in the main hall. And then you can see it's so cute, right? It's a very cute version of Guan Yin. And another really cute, and then also it comes with other cute deities. And then one thing on the top right, that is the money, that's old money, because people believe that Chinese New Year is the beginning of the year. We all wish for good luck. We all wish for good money, good wealth. So once people see this old once people see this old money, they believe that they will get more money in the coming year. So there's a tradition that people like to go under the light, especially the one on the bottom left. People, they will go under it and then to make a wish and to hope their wishes come true. And then on the bottom right, there's an animal. We call it xiling. It is believed to be an auspicious animal. Very cute. On the right, that is the major one, right across from the temple. So every year we will have a different thing depending on the year. Like this year is rat. Next year is gonna be a cow. And then the year following that will be a tiger. So every year there will be different, animal. And then all the lantern will feature on the certain animal. So that is the show. I will show you another video so you can enjoy the lantern show online. Let's check it out. show. Before Chinese New Year, people they all rush to the temples. What do? They wanna have a good year, right? So what they do is to light up the light. This is very vague, but the idea is, can you see the tower on the bottom left? So each tower there will be on the, you can take a look of the right, top right, will have a small square, and this paper normally pink. So on this pink paper, you are gonna have your names, your birthday, your address on, and then people believe that once they do this, they will be blessed. Okay, so every month, according to the lunar calendar, every month on the first day and the 15th day, there will be a religious ritual that will do all this, and in hopes that these people can have a bright future or better life or better health. So it can be for bright future, it can be for good wealth, or it can be good health. It can be for anything. And so depending on what you're looking for, you go to a different tower to do this. And once you pay, it will last for 1 year. So most people they like to do it before Chinese New Year. That's why you can see on the news that there's always a long queue. People they all go there doing this. This is like a must do. This is really cool phenomenon. It's called the light, which is good for you. So that is all about manga. So what have you learned from this, and how can you apply to your country? So first of all, religious tourism. So religious tourism, as I mentioned earlier, this is a very big business. People, they all want to find a strength in their mind. And then they like to go to the cathedral or church or temples. So this can be another thing that you can think of, like what you can make it another big business. At the same time, you do the good things for people. For example, like the light I mentioned earlier, Guangming light, that you do it, you pay the money, you to have your name putting in the tower for the whole year, and then the temple will use this money to do some good things, or fund like charity, or have the scholarship, or help pave the road for the local community. They can have the fund, they can have the money to do some good things for the community. So it's all like part of the power of religion. Second, who doesn't like wealth and good health? Who doesn't? Everybody does, right? So that became the key for Monga area, or we can say Longshan Temple, to become successful. Number 3, add new flavors into the old. I remember when I was little, we don't really go to Monga because we all think that, oh, that is an old place and then nothing special. But nowadays, our government has put a lot of effort to renovate the whole area. Especially, remember there was one street, it's called Bopi Liao in the video. We take you to a street. So now many houses has been renovated. There are also many exhibitions and shows inside. And every time you go there, there's also always something going on. So it's like giving it a new life into the old body, which is really cool. And it's also another trend that we are trying to do. So that is about manga.